Hello and welcome to News Now on TV360. I am Thelma Okoro. Nigeria President Muhammadu Buhari has directed the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) to carry out further investigation against the former Chief of Defense Staff, Alex Bade, and other top military officials. They were all indicted by the recommendation of the committee established to audit the procurement of arms and the equipment in the armed forces and defense sector from 2007 to 2015. A statement issued by presidential spokesperson Garba Shehu said the FCC has been ordered to probe 17 past military officials and 21 companies in connection with breaches associated with the procurement by the Office of the National Security Advisor and the Nigerian Air Force. The breaches identified by the audit committee include non-specification of procurement costs, absence of contract agreements, award of contracts beyond authorized threshold, transfer of public funds for unidentified purposes, and general non-adherence to provisions of the Public Procurement Act. A federal high court in Abuja on Friday remanded the spokesperson of the opposition People's Democratic Party, Olisa Metu, in prison. This follows his not guilty plea to a 7-count charge of corruption and money laundering. The federal government had on Thursday, through the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC), filed the charges against him. Metu was arrested on January 5th and has been in EFCC detention for collecting 400 million naira from the office of the former National Security Advisor Sambo Dasuki. The anti-corruption agency had asked him to return the money to effect his release. However, the spokesman has refused to do so. The Supreme Court has upheld the election of Samuel Ortom as the duly elected governor of Benue State. The Apex Court on Friday upheld Ortom's election on the ground that his challenger, Tehemen Tazo of the People's Democratic Party, lacks reason to institute the appeal. Justice Nwale Nguta, who read the lead judgment, dismissed the suit for lack of merit and awarded 150,000 naira as cost in favor of Governor Samuel Ortom and the All Progressives Congress.
To God be the glory. I want to appreciate God for this judgment. This shows that the judiciary is there for the common man. Right from when I won this election overwhelmingly on the 11th of April 2015, after my opponent congratulated me, he took me to the tribunal, and I did not go to see any judge. I saw no judge to solicit for justice, but justice was given to me, and they proceeded to the appeal tribunal. I saw no judge, yet justice was given to me. And today's ruling in the Supreme Court, again, I saw no judge, and justice is given to me. This shows that there is hope for the common man. There is hope for every Nigerian. There is hope for justice. There is hope for fairness. There is hope for the truth. And I appreciate God for the change mantra that we have in Nigeria today. I want to build on this, and by the grace of God, we will translate it back home. Because for me, I believe that we have no business with poverty in this country. God has given us everything. What is lacking is the discipline to take on and properly do things in this country.
Nigeria's President Muhammadu Buhari has ordered an investigation into the kidnapping of the over 200 schoolgirls by Islamic group Boko Haram. This was confirmed in a statement on Thursday by the presidency, which stated that a panel which would investigate the matter would soon be announced by the National Security Advisor. The decision comes after the girls' parents and the Bring Back Our Girls movement marched to the presidential villa in Abuja to demand a meeting with President Buhari. Since assuming office, President Buhari has vowed to crack down on Boko Haram insurgents and rescue the missing Chibok girls alive. The Nigerian army has warned citizens of the new ploy used by members of the deadly Boko Haram sect to harm innocent and unsuspecting Nigerians. In a statement released, the army warned that the terrorists have now resorted to hiding IEDs in fruits and vegetables. The army therefore urged Nigerians to be extra careful in purchasing such items and also help the army fully get rid of Boko Haram by reporting any suspected terrorists to appropriate authorities. Nigeria on Friday celebrated its fallen soldiers at the 2016 Armed Forces Remembrance Day ceremony held in Abuja. To mark this year's edition, the federal government urged the Nigerian Armed Forces to ensure that they win the war against Boko Haram in the nation's northeast. Ceremonies are usually held across the country and include march past and laying of wreaths at the grave of soldiers. In Abuja, President Muhammadu Buhari laid wreaths at the tomb of soldiers to mark the end of the 2016 Armed Forces Remembrance Day celebrations at the National Arcade in the Eagle Square. He also spoke with men of the armed forces working in the field online. A senior special assistant on National Assembly to President Muhammadu Buhari, Sumaila Kawu, has said the president would make some adjustments to the 6.08 trillion naira budget. Since the assumption of the National Assembly from recess on Monday, there has been controversy over the whereabouts of the proposed budget documents presented before a joint session of the National Assembly by the President in December. The Senate had accused the senior special assistant to the President on Senate matters, Ita Enang, of tampering with the document of the 2016 budget and changing its content. In an interview with reporters, he denied reports that the budget was missing but noted that the President would have to adjust the budget due to the fall in the price of oil. Nigeria's two main parties, the People's Democratic Party and the All Progressives Congress, have begun exchanging words over allegations that the presidency had amended the 2016 budget without informing the Senate. The PDP, in a statement signed by its acting national chairman, Uche Secondus, asked the National Assembly to commence impeachment of President Muhammadu Buhari for the various constitutional breaches, especially the submission of two versions of the 2016 budget. The party also called for the resignation of the Minister of Finance, Kemi Adeosun, and the Minister of Budget and National Planning, Udo Doma, for failing to manage the nation's economy. Meanwhile, the APC in its reply dismissed the call as, quote, comical. The party said it was confusing and worrisome that the PDP calls for an investigation into the budget issue and at the same time calls for the removal and resignation of those affected. At least 2 persons have been confirmed dead following the outbreak of Lassa fever in Ondo State. The deaths come as the state government embarked on an enlightenment program to stem the tide. The Ondo State government also confirmed that 31 others who had contact with the victims have been quarantined in order to curtail any further spread. Commissioner for Health Dayo Adeyanju and a team of health workers have embarked on raising awareness on the disease and measures to check the outbreak. The All Progressives Grand Alliance APGA has thrown its weight behind the anti-corruption crusade of the President Buhari-led administration. The party has, however, cautioned that such a fight should be total and without any room for sacred cows. Chairman of the party, Ikechukwu Oye, who disclosed this in Abuja, further added that the fight against corruption must be in conformity with the law and any other existing provisions in the country.
As far as we are concerned, the fight should be total. And it should not be a respecter of anybody. And it should be seen to be just and fair. That's the position of APGA. We're not against any process that will ensure that our nation is corruption-free. We're all for it. But what we're saying is that such measures should be in conformity with the law, the Constitution, and any other extant provisions. The integrity, somebody is adjudged not guilty until proved otherwise. So the EFCC should also respect the law, respect court orders. That's the only way this nation can move forward. The fight should not be personalized. Are you getting what I'm saying? It should be a total war. All holds bad. And nobody should be respected. That's our position.
We'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll look at business and international stories. Stay tuned.
Hello, you're welcome. You're watching the Funny White Man Show, which is the biggest, the brightest, and the most entertaining show in Africa.
Funny white man, funny white man, funny white man, but this way you talk, it's too much. Give me 5,000 man, that's you. It's too much. So you get it like, make you move along the street. Ah, yeah, me should like there, I'm going girl. You know, my own people, actually. Yeah, fine, it's fun. I enjoy it. And I'm one of those very few. I'm forever taking it personal. I will listen 160 million Nigerians are corrupt. How? My brother, I'm looking for you.
Yeah, but it's a growth, and this is the time to build business. I know the pitfalls, I know what to do and what not to do. But there are months where you get business and months.
You know how we do, how we train them. We did the way you did.
Hello, you're welcome. You're watching Trending Matters on the Funny White Man Show. Of course, we will bring you trending issues just to entertain and tickle your fancy.
Welcome back. The Security and Exchange Commission has advised investors in the Nigerian capital market to key into the electronic dividend registration. Director General of the Commission, Muhammadu, who gave the advice while speaking at a town hall meeting with stakeholders in Abuja, said the e-policy provides the leverage for them to collect their dividends electronically. The SEC boss, however, noted that less investors will now be able to get dividends that are less than 12 years.
Therefore, you have to go and meet your registrar and change your address will be a thing of the past. The issue of unclaimed dividend, which from our record is in excess of 80 billion, would also be a thing of the past. And largely, this unclaimed dividend came about from dividend of small stakeholders like you and me, the 2,000, the 3,000, the 5,000. Anybody that has a dividend of 200,000, 500,000 will not play with that dividend. So it is the accumulation of those small dividends that gave rise to that 80 billion. So the unclaimed dividend issue will also be a thing of the past. And we have made attempts in the past to address that. Now once we are able to get through with the e-registration of the e-dividend, we will also compel both the registrars and the companies for those dividends that are less than 12 years. They should be able to check the addresses of people and certify from their identification if they are the true owners of those dividends. And they should be able to pay them their dividends into their own account. So gradually, we'll be able to address the issue of the unclaimed dividend. How do we register? We have sent flyers all over the country that all you need to do is to go and meet your bank or your registrar. They will give you a form to fill. I'm happy when I was discussing with the representative of the Bankers Association. He confirmed to me that they are making efforts to ensure that within the ATM machine, there will also be an information that will tell you that what you need to do.
Oil prices have fallen below $30 a barrel for the second time this week. It comes as concerns grow that Iran could restart oil exports, flooding a market already under intense pressure from global oversupply and weak demand. Brent crude fell more than 4.5% to $29.46 a barrel, and U.S. crude fell to $29.47 a barrel. The continued collapse in oil prices has added to pressure on oil-producing nations that rely on exports, including Algeria, Venezuela, Nigeria, and Russia. The United Nations has documented cases of Burundi's security forces gang-raping women during searches of opposition supporters' houses. UN Human Rights Chief Zaid Rad al-Hussein on Friday said there was also testimonies of mass graves. Burundi has suffered a worsening wave of violence since President Pierre Nkurunziza said he would seek a third term his opponents say is illegal. At least 439 people have also been killed in violence and 200,000 have fled the country. Zaid said the United Nations has documented 13 cases of sexual violence. Western powers and African states fear Burundi's crisis, which has so far largely followed political allegiances, could spiral into renewed ethnic conflict, potentially spilling over into Rwanda and Democratic Republic of Congo. Now, barely 24 hours after the World Health Organization declared the latest West Africa Ebola outbreak over, Sierra Leone officials have confirmed a death from the disease. The country was declared free of the virus on the 7th of November, and the region as a whole was cleared when Liberia was pronounced Ebola-free on Thursday. However, tests on a person who died in northern Sierra Leone have proved positive, crushing hopes of a successful victory over the disease. UN Chief Ban Ki-moon has warned that West Africa may see flare-ups of the disease, which has killed more than 11,000 people since December 2013. The Super Eagles of Nigeria have arrived at the Rwandan capital of Kigali as they prepare to participate in their second ever African Nations Championship. The Eagles delegation was led by its head coach, Sunday Olise. The team has been paired in Group C alongside Tunisia, Niger and Guinea, and will play all of their group games at the State Regional de Remembrance in the Rwandan capital of Kigali. They will begin the competition against Niger on January 18, 2016. The World Anti-Doping Agency WADA has banned 8 Nigerian athletes for testing positive to banned substances during last year's All-African Games in Congo. Their bans were confirmed by the Minister of Youth and Sports, Solomon Dalong, at a meeting with board members of the Nigeria Olympic Committee in Abuja. The minister also noted that the country had been stripped of the 8 medals won by the banned athletes at last year's showpiece in Congo. 7 of the athletes all received 4-year bans, while the 8th athlete, weightlifter Elizabeth Nwora, was banned for 8 years. Well, we've come to the end of news now. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Thelma Okoro.